Easy Explain, the Empiricism of John Locke, Part 2. So Part 2 here is going to be focusing on books 3 and 4 of his essay concerning human understanding. Starting with book 3 here, of words. In chapter 3 of general terms, in paragraph 20, Locke says the following: men making abstract ideas and settling them in their minds, with names annexed to them, do thereby enable themselves to consider things and discourse of them, as it were in bundles, for the easier and readier improvement and communication of their knowledge, which would advance but slowly, were their words and thoughts confined only to particulars. So here, Locke is starting to apply his philosophy, his empirical philosophy of ideas, and connecting it to words and this idea of language, right? And how those two things are related and how they work together. How we can come to share our ideas. If I experience something and take it in through sense perception, how can I communicate it to you? How can we share our ideas and share our knowledge? It's through words and language, right? We are dependent on words and language in this sense. Moving on to chapter 6. Bit of a bigger passage. I'm going to break it into a couple parts. Chapter 6 called The Names of Substances in paragraph 511. It's a big one. Locke says, men being furnished already with names for their ideas, and common use having appropriated known names to certain ideas, and affected misapplication of them cannot but be very ridiculous. He that has new notions will, perhaps, venture sometimes on the coining new terms to express them, but men think it a boldness, and 'tis uncertain whether common use will ever make them pass for current. So, quickly sum this part up. Locke is saying, yes, we can have new ideas, but sometimes we might need to create new words for them. He thinks that's a little risky. He says, if we already got words for something, use them. Creating a new word might not be the best idea. Sometimes it might not catch. Moving on, same selection here. Locke continues, but in communication with others, it is necessary that we conform the ideas we make, the vulgar words for any language stand for, to their known proper significations, or else make known that new signification we apply to them. Right, so he's going to say here the onus is on you. If you're going to come up with a new word, you're going to have to put in the work to make it clear and distinct and understood to everyone you're going to be communicating with. Moving on to chapter 11 in book 3, the last selection we have here, of the remedies of the foregoing imperfections and abuses. Paragraphs 16 and 17 took some selections where he gets into the morals behind this, what we're supposed to do, what we should do. He says, morality is capable of demonstration. If you have something moral, you should be able to demonstrate it. Definitions can make moral discourses clear. Definition is the only way whereby the precise meaning of moral words can be known. So this is his brief stance here on morals, morality, a little bit of ethics here from Locke. You should be able to clearly communicate it, right? If you can't define or demonstrate or clearly talk about what you're saying a moral is, you're not quite there yet, right? It should be very clear, very easy to know. Moving on to book 4 of Knowledge and Opinion, the final book of Locke's essay here. In chapter 2, he says of the degrees of our knowledge, in paragraph 14, these two, intuition and demonstration, are the degrees of our knowledge. Whatever comes short of one of these, with what assurance soever embraced, is but faith or opinion, but not knowledge, at least in all general truths. So here he's kind of sorting out the difference between knowledge and maybe just having an opinion on something. He's kind of setting some standards for what counts as knowledge. Again, this is a big selection. Moving on to the second part of it. There is indeed another perception of the mind employed about the particular existence of finite beings without us, of the existence of particular external objects. By that perception and consciousness we have of the actual entrance of ideas from them, and allow these 3 degrees of knowledge. We have intuitive, demonstrative, and sensitive, in each of which there are different degrees and ways of evidence and certainty. So he's furthering this a bit, right? We have a 3rd degree of knowledge. I think just different types of knowledge, different ways of knowing things. He's quantifying them here, categorizing them, providing, a final layer of clarity to what he thinks counts as knowing something. Moving on to chapter 4 of the reality of knowledge, same kind of theme here. In paragraph 18, Locke says, wherever we perceive the agreement or disagreement of any of our ideas, there is certain knowledge. And wherever we are sure those ideas agree with the reality of things, there is certain real knowledge, right? It has to line up with reality. We have to agree in the words that we use. It has to be clear. And big selection here, paragraphs 11 and 12 from chapter 7 of maxims. A little bit of warning Locke has here. He says, to come, therefore, to the use that is made of maxims. 1, they are of use in the ordinary methods of teaching sciences as far as they are advanced, but of little or none in advancing them farther. And they are of use in disputes for the silencing of obstinate wranglers and bringing those contests to some conclusion. He goes on, maxims, if care not be taken in use of the words, may prove contradictions. I say these general maxims will serve to confirm us in mistakes, in such a way use of words, which is most common, will serve to prove contradictions. So a little bit of advisory here, right? Be careful and always speaking in maxims. He's just kind of advising against it. He's like, they have their place and their time and their use. We can't always be communicating like that. So he's kind of saying tread carefully as you work on your knowledge, your opinions, your words, your ideas. But for now, I hope this helps.